This survey was really very important because we found that 1/3 of the respondents actually mentioned that there were problems regarding the availability of the drugs, but also at the same time they wanted to be very active on helping the national health systems and the reimbursing bodies to promote ways that could allow that these drugs would be available for patients, but at the same time favoring the sustainability of the system.
To me, optimal cancer care should be across all the stages and all the intervention that can happen in the course of a disease or in the history of a patient suffering from cancer. So in this survey, really the participants stressed the fact that in early disease, but also up to palliative care, because palliative care has a cost, needs an investment, needs dedicated people, needs dedicated pharmacologists, needs dedicated beds. So every of the steps of cancer care treatment should be optimized, or should be optimal in order to have an optimal cancer care.
From ESMO 2018, we have learned a lot about clinical insights of new drugs that provide better benefit to our patients with cancer, but at the same time we have learned a lot on how we can better profile our patients in terms of genomic profiling, but also with other technologies. The bottom line at the end is to characterize much better our patients and to give to each patient the right drug for each indication. This means a transformative effort in our clinical settings, because more and more we are collaborating, not only doing clinical research, but at the same time translational research. So it's very important to get the holistic information of the patient.
On the clinical point of view, what I found very important is to apply what you have been saying to the various drugs which really have become available or accessible through clinical trials. And we have been seeing the emergence maybe of these two chapters of really the targeted therapies, and the other big chapter is immunotherapy. It was very interesting to see that at this meeting we confirmed that some entities need to potentially see immunotherapy very early. Renal cell carcinoma, for example, we had some data, but now we have confirmation that the best strategy is to start with immunotherapy. But I think for the first time at that meeting, we speak of the same language for head and neck cancer. So the strategy of creating precision oncology is reaching more and more patients.
Right now we have more than 20,000 members, and this is really very important. The Congress is only the tip of the iceberg. We have to do several things. The first one is to help the regulators, of course, to advance as much as possible the approval of all these drugs, but also we have to help our health authorities and our payers on how to integrate new mechanisms of reimbursement in order to have all these drugs for as many patients as possible. Because ESMO is global. ESMO wants always to provide a view that could favor patients worldwide.
What was interesting is to see the number of different nations which are represented in such a meeting, which means that the question we have for our own practice, should I give this drug or not, will I have access to this new strategy, is a question which will be distributed after this meeting in 140 nations, something like that. Meaning that the question of securing accessibility, the question in exactly knowing what to do with this new data, how they should apply, how can you deliver this optimal cancer care, all these questions ESMO can help in potentially supporting the efforts around accessibility and education and multidisciplinarity.